Well, let's continue the discussion on The Lost Child by Mulk Raj Anand. People are on the way to their a village fair. Parents with a boy, they set their journey to the fair. They travel through the fields where the boy has varieties of experiences, like he comes across bees, butterflies, and so on. Then he enjoys the rain of petals, and then they continue their journey through the mustard fields and reach the village where there is the fair. Fine, now let's consider what are the child's experiences in the fair. What are the things that he comes across? What are the things that he likes and demands? Let us see. Fine, in the fair, the child is irresistibly drawn by a number of things. There are many things that he likes in the fair. Let's see one by one. So, as they enter the village fair, he hears the sound, the cry, the announcement of a sweetmeat seller who cries Gulab Jamun, Rasgulla, Burfi, Jalebi. He is a sweet seller, of course, and selling varieties of sweets. And these very words bring water in the mouth of the child. And Burfi is his favorite among those sweets. Therefore, he, in a low voice, he demands for the Burfi. He says, I want that Burfi. But then he realizes that his parents, if he demands for the Burfi, his parents would think he is greedy. Thinking that, he moved on. Look how he suppresses his desires, natural desires. And also observe how parents are indifferent to the child's desires. Fine. So they move on, and now he comes across a flower seller who hawked a garland of gulmohar. A garland of gulmohar. Now, looking at the garlands of gulmohar, this boy is again attracted by them. He feels like taking a garland, this gulmohar garland, and putting it around his neck. But then he thinks of his parents and their attitude to him. Thinking that his parents would say they are cheap, he moved on. Now, if at all he had demanded for the garland of gulmohar, his parents would say that the flowers are very cheap. So for the second thing, even his desire is suppressed. They move on. Look at the boy in the fair, how he is drawn by a variety of things. In the picture you can observe many things: balloons, sweets, then garland, and so on. So now he comes across a balloon seller who was holding a pole with varieties of colors of balloons flying from it. There were balloons of all colors: yellow, red, green, purple, and so on. Among them, the boy was attracted by the rainbow glory of silken colors. But he knew his parents would say he is too old to play with balloons if he demanded. So he moved on. So even if he wants to buy balloon, wants to take balloon, his parents again are indifferent to it. So thinking that they would say you are too old already, you are grown up, so you need not play with the balloons. Thinking that, he moved on. And as they go ahead, they come across a snake charmer. ಒಬ್ಬ ಹಾವಾಡಿಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಫ್ಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನುಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಆ ಹಾವು ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ರೀತಿಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. So a snake charmer stood playing a flute to a snake which coiled itself in a basket. So the snake was uh, locked in a basket. So that snake charmer opens the lid of that basket, and then he starts playing the flute, to which the snake gets up and starts swaying, which looks like dance for the onlookers. The boy liked the music. Now what he liked here is not the dance of the snake, but the music. He liked it very much. He wants to stand there and listen to it more, but his parents have forbidden him to listen to such a coarse music. His parents would say this is not a pleasant music, it's a coarse, very harsh music. So they would say don't listen to it. So the boy, without demanding to listen to the music, he moved on with them. And then finally he comes across a roundabout. As you can see in the picture, this giant wheel, many people call it joint wheel, it's actually giant, which means big wheel. So he comes across this roundabout, it's called roundabout, and he watches people how they enjoy it. There was a roundabout in full swing. It was going round. Men and women and children carried away in a whirling motion. Now, as it turned and picked up the speed, people, they shrieked and cried with dizzy laughter. ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿ ಜನ ಕಿರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಆ ಒಂದು ಜಯಾಂಟ್ ವೀಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ. The child watched them intently, and then he made a bold request. So looking at that wild joy, wild ecstasy, the boy feels like even he wants to go in that roundabout, the giant wheel. So without resisting it, see, he had resisted so many things so far, but for this giant wheel he could not resist. Therefore he makes a bold request to his parents. I want to go on that roundabout, please, father, mother. Now he pleads to them and asks them, please send me in that roundabout. Okay. For this session, let's consider winding up now. What we discussed so far is the experiences of the boys experiences in the village fair, which was a varied one. Sometimes he was fascinated by many things. At the same time, he was scared by so many people, the crowd that was there, and probably the noisy one. In the fair, he comes across many things like sweets, gulmohar garlands, colorful balloons, snake charmer's music, and lastly the giant wheel. Though the boy he desires to have them all, but his parents don't meet his demands, and rather he understands their attitude to his demands. That is, moreover, he knows that they do not buy them to him, so he moves on with them. His natural desires are suppressed. So let us stop it here and continue in the next class. Thank you.